The OnePlus 7 Pro is the latest addition in the race of competing flagship phones in 2019. Is it still a flagship killer? Let's find out. What's up, everybody? This is Vijay from TechImaginist. With some industry-leading features and a few compromises, the 7 Pro is OnePlus's costliest phone to date, but well under the price of the league of flagship phones it competes with. The OnePlus 7 Pro is beautifully built, with the industry-standard aluminum and glass form factor. With the subtle curves, it feels great in the hand and looks spectacular, especially in gorgeous matte finish nebula blue color variant. The internals of this phone are as good as the externals. Here is a rundown of the specs at a glance. The OnePlus 7 Pro also includes an unofficial water resistance claim from OnePlus, but if I were you, I'd keep my costly investment away from water. Except for the sake of science? One of the highlights of the OnePlus 7 Pro is its motorized pop-up front camera. The motor makes a very light sound every time it's opened. Nah, just kidding. It's really quiet. I couldn't even get it recorded on the mic. It even has an auto-close feature if the phone detects it is in free fall. Good job, OnePlus. The huge 6.67 curved AMOLED display is the highlight and the biggest pro of the OnePlus 7 Pro. The front of the device is all screen, devoid of any camera hole punches or notches, which is refreshing. Over the month I spent using this phone, the display was always a pleasure to look at every time I woke the screen. The display also features a 90Hz refresh rate, which makes it really fluid and buttery smooth. It has a tendency to spoil you, making displays on other phones like the iPhone XS Max seem a little lackluster in comparison. However, one minor gripe I have is that the color saturation on the OnePlus 7 Pro is not as good as the displays on the S10 Plus or the iPhone XS Max. Sometimes it tends to seem a bit on the bland side, not much to complain about. First world problems, I know. You could tweak this in the color settings manually to your liking though. Another small issue I have with the screen has to do with the auto brightness. When moving from a slightly darker room to a brighter one, the screen takes a while till it gets bright again. The OnePlus 7 Pro has an overall very capable camera with a suitable combination of the 48-megapixel main wide camera, the 8-megapixel telephoto camera, and 16-megapixel ultra-wide. There's plenty of detail in these images. Good dynamic range, good color balance, and even low light shots are great. But despite all of this, I found the still camera performance on the OnePlus 7 Pro to be somewhat of a mixed bag. Images were largely, I'd say, inconsistent. Some shots turn out great with good amount of detail, while others go soft and mushy, almost making it unpredictable to point and shoot on the go. This happens outdoors as well as indoors in various situations. Note that these shots were taken in the latest update of the OxygenOS, version 9.5.11. But the OnePlus 7 Pro's camera isn't all bad. Here's a quick comparison of the shots from the OnePlus 7 Pro and Samsung S10 Plus, since these two are in the same price range. Here the images from both phones look great, but the S10 Plus has slightly better dynamic range. The same is true for the ultra-wide-angle shot. Here again, the S10 Plus seems to be doing better with better color contrast and overall sharpness. The OnePlus goes mushy on the green plants and overall colors are dull. The low-light shots on both cameras are quite similar with some amount of noise in both images. However, the shot here looks better and sharper on the OnePlus 7 Pro, though the S10 Plus cuts in closer to the original colors. Overall image is brighter and more detailed on the OnePlus 7 Pro. In the low light ultra-wide shot, the colors in the OnePlus look better, but the S10 Plus gives an overall clearer image. Here, the OnePlus really works its magic. The colors are spot on, and the overall image is sharper over the S10 Plus, which brings in a lot of noise. Here is a quick selfie comparison for both phones. The colors on the OnePlus are a little towards the cooler side, while the S10 Plus is closer to the original. Now looking at the video, the OnePlus shoots 4K at 60 and 30 frames per second. Color saturation and dynamic range are great. However, the image stabilization for video is a bit choppy. Here's a quick comparison of the stabilization with the S10 Plus. The OnePlus 7 Pro also shoots 1080p at 60 and 30 frames per second. The image stabilization gets worse at this point, though overall video and color quality are good. Low light video at 4K 60 frames per second has a lot of noise, but color saturation is spot on compared to the S10 Plus, but stabilization takes a hit. Overall, I'd say that the OnePlus 7 Pro's camera is a capable performer, holding its own and sometimes even doing better than the S10 Plus. But it's hard to recommend if you're buying the phone only for its camera due to its inconsistent still photo behavior I mentioned and lack of proper image stabilization in the video. Hopefully OnePlus will improve this in a future software update. The OnePlus features a standard 4000 mAh battery and gives you over 7 hours of screen on time, or up to 2 days of standby and light use on a single charge. The lack of wireless charging is a minus, but warp charge mostly makes up for it. It is the best in the industry and tops the battery from 0 to 70% in about 30 minutes. Switching the screen from 90Hz to 60Hz and the QHD Plus resolution down to Full HD Plus resolution could extend battery life. Right. Who wants a 90Hz screen and not be able to use it? Coming to that, the 90Hz display is one of the best in its class for watching full-screen media content and playing games that take advantage of the 90Hz display. Performance of the Snapdragon 855 is top-notch, coupled by the 12GB of RAM and the Adreno 640 GPU. There's even a fanatic mode for gamers out there that dedicates all CPU cores to the game and blocking network interference and notifications from other apps. Audio from the dual speakers on the OnePlus 7 Pro is good. The speakers on the OnePlus 7 Pro sound a bit tinny compared to the likes of the iPhone XS or the guest appearance for this video. Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, which I'll be reviewing soon. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But these speakers on the OnePlus 7 Pro are much better than the single speaker on the OnePlus 6T. With all its features, the OnePlus 7 Pro is a great phone to buy in 2019. It competes with the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus at almost the same price range, the S10 Plus being cheaper now than when it launched. So at its price, is the OnePlus 7 Pro a flagship killer? Well, a flagship killer is a phone with flagship grade specs at probably half the price of flagship. At least that's what OnePlus did in their early days. But all too soon, OnePlus adopted trends that upset fans and enthusiasts alike, like ditching the headphone jack, for example, though that might no longer be a complaint in 2019. OnePlus has been steadily increasing its price over the years, like the McLaren edition, which we did not notice since the OnePlus 6T was cheaper. And now, the OnePlus 7, the cheaper of the two phones released this year, is being sold in selected markets while they sell the costlier OnePlus 7 Pro in the rest of the world. That way, they maintain their cheap phone brand moniker with the OnePlus 7 and yet sell you the costlier OnePlus 7 Pro. Of course, you pay more for more features, and there isn't any loss from buying the OnePlus 7 Pro since it is as good a flagship as any. But most people don't seem to realize how the strategy of the brand OnePlus has slowly but surely changed. OnePlus no longer makes flagship killers. They just make flagships. And sooner or later, we're going to be paying for them anyway. Why? Because we'll never settle. If you like my video, please leave us a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel for future videos like this one. Come hang out with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TechImaginist. Talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.